Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Actually, you mind if I fucking grip and rip it right now? Crack open a cold one?
I love that.
This episode is brought to you by Limoncello LaCroix.
See, and that's the thing, like, I'm convinced my neighbors think, like, damn, it's 2 p.m., they're gripping and ripping it, and it's just, it's always, like, sparkling water that I'm opening, but it's just, like, I just need 3 liquids at all times, okay?
Yeah. If you don't have at least one fun drink in rotation to your, like, normal human drinks, then what's life even worth living for?
It's not.
You know?
It's not.
It's not.
Groceries are expensive. I try to cut out as many things, but I'm not gonna buy a fucking fizzy maker myself. Like, it's just not.
Yeah. Let's be realistic.
Right, exactly. I'm not going to do it. I need to be able to drink my fizzy beverage. If everything else in this world is going down, I'm going to have a fizzy beverage.
This election season, I want people to really hone in on the fact that fizzy beverages should be government subsidized.
No, literally, like, if you're going to make me deal with...
The horrors?
Right, no, exactly, the horrors, TM. I should be able to be compensated in many ways.
Right. At the very least, though.
But at the very least, I should have a fizzy beverage.
Yeah. I think that's fair and true and correct.
Let me have it, okay?
Yeah.
I'm white-knuckling it over here, okay? Just let me have it. Welcome into the Twilight. It's brought to you by Big Fizzy Beverage.
Yep. They got our asses.
Big Fizz. That's probably a
Big
brand,
Fizz.
actually. So just Big Fizzy Beverage.
It's like off-brand Mr. Pibb.
Right, no,
off-brand Dr. Pepper.
Hi. Welcome, first of all.
We're
here. How are you?
I'm chilling. I wanted to bring a game to the space. Whoa. And this is a game that I bought but forgot I bought. And I was like, hey, man, what if we played it, right? What if we just actually had it because it's just sitting there?
Not
like,
just
let's go.
adding to your TBR.
Yeah. Right, which I tend to do.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let's grip it and rip it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Chance of Sonar.
Okay.
And it's like very like puzzle based, very kind of like Legend of Zelda, but like low key or like lower scaled stuff.
Okay.
But it's all like based on language and languages.
Oh.
And so like the whole time you're kind of like, and it's really gorgeous. Like it's a very pretty art style. It's really nice, but the whole thing is like people are talking to you and you're kind of like, and they're like glyphs, so you're just kind of like trying to assume what they're saying and trying to like build out this like dictionary and vocabulary to like help you get farther and like actually know what you're supposed to be doing. So it's like super cool because they give you like context clues of like, oh, you know, this is a lever and there's like one thing on the top that's you would assume would be like open it, and the bottom would be like close it, and you like start adding things of like, okay, what are these, you know, glyphs mean, and like how do you build upon them?
Dan Brown is just nutting.
Yeah, it feels very like not Treasure Planet, National Treasure.
Yes, yeah.
But like in an educational, cool way, or like it feels like your brain is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also very cool of like those very frustrating parts of like learning a language, you know?
What you were showing on here looks a lot like the Star Wars prequels. Like it looks like Natalie Portman on here. But what you're describing sounds like autism.
Right.
So you've got me. I'm interested.
Right. I am just definitely describing maybe an autism simulator, which I did not realize until right now. But it's fun and it's very like a puzzle, but it's also kind of like, you know, X Games hard mode of Duolingo, but like it's not a real language, so you're just kind of like figuring it out.
Cool.
And it's pretty and it's fun and it itches the brain. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing okay. My happy thing, though, is very short and sweet. And it's inspired by family member of this show, Maddie. Which is...
Hell yes.
It's motherfucking stone fruit season.
God damn.
And
yes.
I had a really good nectarine this week.
Hell yeah.
And,
yeah. That's what's up.
I love stone fruits. This is my favorite season for fruits. I mean, one, it's like naturally the time when produce would be available. But stone fruits are like my favorite kind of fruits. And it was just a really fucking delicious nectarine, and I was really thankful for it. It made me really happy.
God, stone fruits are so goated. Like, it's not even close how much better stone fruits are than most other categories of fruits, in my opinion. There's
something really beautiful about... I don't even go to, like, sit down. I just eat it over the sink so that, like, when it...
Yeah.
I don't want to get it spilling anywhere. I just...
You gotta get that drippage just right
You gotta
in
get
there.
that drip. Right. Like... But I had a paternal grandmother who had a plum tree in her yard.
Oh.
That's just like, whenever I think about stone fruits, it's just like, damn, it's just right there, you know? So anytime I have to go buy them, I'm like, why the fuck do I have to pay for these? Like,
right.
I used to be able to get these for free. But yeah, man, stone fruits, they're so good.
God, shout out plums, shout out peaches, shout out all of them.
They're so good. And sometimes if I'm, like, really craving them, you know, in the winter, because that's, like, how I grew up with them, because I did not have, like, fresh fruit growing up, so I lived on them, like, canned for a lot of my life, of, like, canned peaches. The first time that I had a real one, it changed my goddamn life. So shout out to stone fruits. You're great. Appreciate you.
Yeah, doing the Lord's work.
For real. We have a piece of current events that's, like, current right now as we're talking about it.
Live in the stew.
It's very live, which is Miss Suki is playing at the Eras Tour right now as we're talking.
Yeah.
Which is...
What a time to be alive.
I remember when we talked about the photo of her and Rob and Taylor a while ago. So it's wild that she's now opening for Taylor on the Eras Tour.
Seriously.
Very confusing world that we live in. I have seen some folks saying Taylor Lautner was there about a year ago and did a backflip. Some folks are asking the same of Rob, which would change my goddamn life.
I don't know if we could handle that.
I mean, I know Batman is dexterous, but not that dexterous.
Right.
So, I do imagine, though, that when this comes out, when this episode airs, there will be another backstage photo with them. So, if you do see that, don't be surprised and be like, why didn't y'all talk about this? Because that's not how time works. So, don't get upset.
Sorry about that. We are not time travelers, unfortunately.
You know what? Honestly, I used to want that power. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, no, that's way too much pressure. Like,
I don't want that responsibility.
Those ripple effects. Yeah.
If I had it, I think that I would want it, like some movies have it, where it's like you go like 5 or 10 seconds in the future, just so that, like, when I get fajitas on my white shirt, I could prevent that.
Right.
But not be
other...
forced to save like big events. Yeah. I already have enough anxiety. I don't need that in my life, you know? I'm good. Thanks, though. I'm so done with this show.
Yeah, fuck y'all, honestly. Like, respectfully and
complimentary.
From the bottom of my heart.
From the bottom,
fuck all y'all.
With all the peace and love in the world, fuck this show.
Yeah.
And that's going to... I feel like that might change later based on some of the things y'all have said, that might become derogatory. But right now, I'm going to hold your hand while I say this. Fuck this show.
Yeah. I'm not having a good time, for sure.
I'm
losing it.
I'm in pain, and I don't understand why you sickos are okay with that.
Right. Think this is fun for us? I think we're having a good, goofy time.
There have been such a range of pain over the last 8 years. A lot of it was like cringe and then upset because why were we talking about jeans and Xboxes in a BDSM context? And then I was just in pain because why is the Vampire Academy so upsetting and love-filled? But now it's just like you're taking some of the songs that I had on playlists in 2011 that I literally cried into a pillow into. And now you're putting them
the needle
in this context.
Yeah, the needle drops this episode were violent.
That, like, I very literally, like, in 2011, I can go back into my Twitter account. I had a Twitter exchange with Andrew Bell about the song in this episode.
No
being
way.
Like, I could probably pull it if I requested my archives from X. You know what I mean? But I very distinctly remember being like, tweeting something my junior year of high school, being like, it's just like an Andrew Bell night. And, back in 2011, right, like, artists were actually on their Twitter accounts. So he was like, like, thanks for the shout out or whatever. Like, a song that that and Ron Pope's song in this, like, are songs that I've had on playlists for the last 13 years. You're going to put those in this episode, and you're going to think that's okay? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's absolutely cruel. I do appreciate, though, the incredibly, like, take you out of the moment needle drop of Cobra Starship in this as well.
And Anna's son. Like, we go the completely opposite way, right? Of, like,
two distinct moods.
Ron Pope, Andrew Bell, and then we go, oh, I heard that you wanted Cobra Starship and Walk the Moon at this party. And I was like, absolutely I do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you were so right for that.
Because if you were at a Rager in 2011, those are absolutely the artists that would be playing.
Yeah, it's historically accurate, for sure.
Like, as someone who was in high school during this time, correct. Yeah. You are correct. Thank you.
Right. Oh my god.
I am glad that we did get a time jump. Like, a new season. We're near the end of summer. It makes sense. I don't hate a time jump in this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it makes the most sense. And we can kind of see everyone's kind of reaction to the thing, which is mostly Elena being like, hey, I miss my boyfriend. And everyone's like, what if you just got over it?
Elena, you've kind of been in this, like, grief cycle for, like, a year now. It's just kind of like a one-note character for you. Can you be something else?
Right. How about you try being happy, right? Like, what if we just forgot that man existed?
Like, you're 18, you can be, like, a new person now. What if you just
new year, new you.
What if you kind of decide as an adult that you don't want to be the girl in the graveyard anymore? And she's like, I've had 15 people die, Caroline. Can you shut the fuck up?
Like, respectfully, I'm kind of going through shit, and none of you bitches let me process that. Because there's always something else going on. Now I'm just gonna live in this funk for a little bit, okay? Alright, girly pop?
I don't know what it is about... Elena, I get you. I also had a really shitty 18th birthday, so I feel you this episode.
Sure.
I was so disappointed in Rick this episode.
Yeah, Rick, not present, not really being there, in a way that, is helpful, and he's really given the old, like, aw, man, sorry I can't be, a father to you type beat, being like, I'm drinking too much, and I'm sad, and I hate my life, and it's like, yeah, dog, for sure, but there's a child here that's now freshly 18-year-old who's going through shit, and you're gonna be like, ooh, a little tough for me.
We get the context that he has been staying on the couch for the last 2 months, right? Like, half of this summer.
Yeah.
Presumably also paying the rent on his apartment.
Yeah.
So we know that he's been there this entire time. what I hate about what they did to his character here, right, is like he is also grieving a lot here. Like, we don't know, presumably he also has not grieved the fact that he was possessed before his girlfriend died. But to have the words that come out of his mouth be, hey, you're 18 now, I'm out, you can do this better than I can. And not, hey, school's gonna be starting soon, why don't I ease off a little bit and spend some more time at my apartment and do like a halves, you know, just kind of gradually ease off the brakes here kind of thing. What the fuck, Rick? You're literally a teacher. Why can't you talk to kids better?
Yeah, like, what happened here?
And I know that he's, you know, like, presumably inebriated in this moment.
Sure.
You know the context of what Damon has been hiding from Elena. You don't know, I think, what Jeremy's going through, unless Jeremy's shared that, but we haven't seen that happen. But you do know that they've lost a lot of people. So why are you going to take that you're the only adult in this situation and you're now going to leave them again? My guy.
Yeah, come on, man.
And do it like ripping off a Band-Aid, as if they don't have enough abandonment issues.
Right. Like, that'll go well. That historically has always been great, you know?
When when Elena says literally in this episode, because we already know that Jeremy looks up to fucking Rick like a dad.
Yeah.
Elena says it out loud in this episode, like, he looks up to you. And now you're gonna leave, my guy?
Sir?
Jeremy's smoking again. He's seeing ghosts.
He's straight up having a bad time.
Right. He's down bad, so bad he's talking to Matt. Someone help him.
Yeah, seriously. This is a cry for help.
No, literally. Anyways, I'm rooting for you, Rick, and you really disappointed me this episode.
Yeah, the bar was already on kind of the floor, and you didn't even make that, so...
It just made me so upset. There were things that did make me laugh this episode and not cry. I did get some laughs out of the Caroline and Tyler bits.
Okay, yeah, that was very cute, because first they're like, you know, they're chatting, and at one point Caroline's like, oh my god, people think we're dating? That's so wild. And it's like, yeah, girl. Yeah. And then both being like, hey, so, like, you ever get, like, just super duper extra horny because you're a cryptid now? You're a creature of the night now?
And not because you're a teenager who's, you know, presumably also 18.
Right. Yeah, like, just, you know, and being like, just like making sure we were both feeling that. Not for each other, though, for sure. Just,
definitely
like,
not,
in general. Just, like, for life reasons. Yeah, Godspeed, let's get horny tonight with other people, not us, for sure. Totally.
But if you do bring a date around, Tyler, I am going to compel that person to leave.
Yeah, I will kill them with my mind.
I loved it. It is very strongly like a trope that I appreciate.
Yeah. It's cute. I can't knock it, you know? Yeah.
It's not going to last long. I felt that before Mrs. Lockwood shot up Caroline. But, you know, sometimes you do gotta dick down. Sometimes dying is worth it, I guess. We saw that with Bella,
yeah,
so...
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, there was also a funny moment to me of... Well, Damon had a couple of funny moments, even though it was very sad for Damon this episode, and we'll get into that. But there was a moment at the beginning where, you know, he's having his sexy times. He's living life. He's living large. He's depressed, but he's, you know, pushing that aside for some just morning champagne bath sexy times, which sure.
Alone,
and
too.
Elena, yeah, right. Yeah, and he's like, this is fine and normal and healthy. And Elena comes in because, again, this is her damn house now, right? Like,
yeah, she owns this place.
This is her house. And Damon's still here just fucking doing whatever he wants. And he walks down butt-ass naked. And she's like, can you fucking cover up, my dude? And it's like, this is her own home. Let her... Like, what are you doing? Leave her alone.
Let her be in one of her 2 houses, Damon. Thank you.
Yeah. God, yeah. Listen, she's got property, okay?
Right.
Let her live.
He also, in the past 2 months, has grown his hair out a little bit.
Dude,
and
it's looking good.
He can now do, like, a proper little pony, if he wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am obsessed, actually.
Yeah, he's reaching into lethal baby girl territory right now with his hair, for sure.
The other part I will say that I wrote down that made me laugh is the gossip session between Elena and Caroline, and Tyler was just also there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we find out that Caroline naturally has been just talking to Tyler because they're friends, right? They definitely don't like each other and they're definitely not dating.
Right. And she just does tell some secrets.
Right.
That only, just really close friends.
And Tyler's like, Elena, you kissed Damon. And they're both like, shut the fuck up, Tyler.
Yeah,
you're not here.
Your fight, Tyler.
So funny. I love that moment. Because it's just like, you're not... Why are you here right now?
Yeah, I love too that Caroline after that is like, just because I tell you things doesn't mean you're supposed to know them. Like you're allowed to know them. It's so good.
It was
He's like, okay, got it, girl stuff.
The nail in the coffin for them not dating.
Yeah.
Because it's like, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Ugh. I was not sure why Andy was back, but her character... Because she's been gone for like 5 or so episodes now. But her existence in this episode makes a lot of sense. Since in
for sure.
the last 2 months, Damon has turned his closet into a fucking... What is the guy? I don't watch It's Always Sunny, but like the full red string thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Charlie Day. Yeah.
Which I'm obsessed with, because he's like, everything that he keeps telling to Elena is like, he's gone, don't look for Klaus and Stefan, like...
Yeah, it's not worth it, get on with your life.
Like, sure, Liz might have given you a location, Elena, I'll go check it out alone, just deal with your birthday, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then he opens up this fucking red string.
Yeah, it's like, I've been here the whole time. Here's I've tracked down every newspaper clipping, like a goddamn maniac.
Right.
But I love, too, at one point during the party, Elena, like, calls him, and it's like, hey, man, where are you? And he's like, I'm definitely by the punch bowl. And she's like, you're full of shit, you're not here. It's like, I know you're looking for clues and shit. Let me in, man.
I loved that moment, too, because, this is presumably the first party that has ever happened at the Salvatore house for high schoolers, right?
Yes. Right.
Which I would have loved a moment with just like 2 random high schoolers being like, what the fuck? Like, this is weird. But also, it's so spread out throughout all of this house, because there's a moment where Damon like compels this random girl to be like, take the Tito's and not my top of the line expensive alcohol, which is so him. I love that. But there's after what happens to Andy, Damon goes into his bedroom and is like, I just need a fucking moment to decompress because there are 200 high schoolers in my house. That's not my house anymore, and I just need a breather. But Caroline was using his room to decompress and have some of the hospital blood. And then Elena also went up there to decompress because she can't, of course, go into Stefan's room. It's, like, too real. And finds all of the Charlie Day red string and has now spewed it everywhere, right? So his, like, usually pristine room is just a mess now. And so when he finally goes in there to take a breather, Elena's, like, down his throat. And he's like, I am so overstimulated right now. I cannot do this right now. And she's like, well, I'm going to have this fucking argument with you right now.
Right. What if we do right now, though?
What if
it's my fucking birthday?
What if it's my birthday and we fight?
Yeah, it's what I want most in this world right now.
And he was like, I tried to warn you that I'm not in the space to be kind and receptive. So
yeah,
I am going to tell you
and
the
also
truth.
your boyfriend's a fucking ripper, and it sucks. He's bad.
You think that Klaus is the bad guy, which he is, but
yeah,
everything I've been tracking has been your fucking boyfriend, my brother Stefan, and
yeah.
you think that he can't do that, but he definitely can. He's never going to come back in your lifetime. Now I have to leave my room because it's not a quiet place anymore. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I know we talked about this last episode, but now that we finally get to see it in action, I am so glad that Paul knows how to be bad.
He's putting in the fucking work. He said nobody wants to work anymore, especially me, the first 2 seasons of this television show.
No, literally.
But now I'm clocking in. I'm locked in. I'm ready to roll, because he was fucking electric.
Someone in the casting room saw something in him, because the past 2 seasons I've been bored with Stefan.
Yeah.
And maybe this came up in the books, right? So maybe they knew and had a long-term vision that I couldn't see. But for them to cast Paul, knowing this like Ripper storyline, he's the perfect choice, because this dark side of him is exactly what I needed here. And I don't like regular Stefan. I like dark Stefan.
Kind of be bad forever, unfortunately.
He's far more engaging as a character to me. And this episode did get nastier than I thought, which is unfortunate. And surprising. I was under the impression that when Stefan was nicknamed the Ripper, we were going by the usual connotation of the Ripper, right? Like England Ripper.
Sure. Yeah.
When we got to Damon, also we got Damon and Rick going on crime investigations together again, which is my favorite thing this show does.
It's huge, yeah.
When we got to his MO of he fully goes dark side, blacks out, and then goes remorse, which is exactly Stefan's fucking character, and puts them back together again, I got nauseous. And that's saying something, because I watch Criminal Minds is my like comfort fucking show.
Right, yeah.
But it's that's like Stefan's character. They knew. Like, that's so gross.
I hate it here.
Damon, that's your brother, dude.
That's your fucking brother, man.
That's how your brother feels about himself.
Yeah.
How you doing, Damon? God. It's so nasty. And then Klaus is over there like,
business.
Hey, I'm going to continue torturing this werewolf in this bar. Can you go fucking handle your brother and then come back?
Yeah, can you do just some dirty work while I'm busy, okay?
These two are nasty, and I am unfortunately really interested in it.
Yeah. Like, I'm locked in.
I'm so locked in. This is the most interesting that Stefan has ever been. Ugh. Sorry, Stefan. This is going to really fuck up your psyche when you unfortunately go back to being like rose tattoo poetry guy. But I am way more interested in this character.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not great. Also, Klaus is a dictator.
Yeah, so that's not great.
Of him being like, so I'm a hybrid, and I want to make more of me.
Yeah.
I want more hybrids. And that's not great because the originals are supposed to be like the governing body. They're the oldest. And now he's like presumably the only one still around. And he's making like visible crimes.
Yeah, going real rogue with it, which is not ideal.
In a bar called Southern Comfort, which, lol. And is putting darts in a werewolf. So that's not great. That's not great.
Yeah.
Klaus, if you could just stop torturing people, that'd be great.
Yeah, we don't have to do all that, you know? Get your point across.
Yeah. That'd be nice. That'd be nice if you weren't such a queer-coded villain. That'd be good. Probably. You know, if you weren't trying to create this, quote, like, master race that you're trying to do. Seeing as this show already has so much, like, Confederacy, slavery overtones in it. Weird and also awkward to do. But okay.
Yeah.
Don't like that. Hey, can we talk about Jeremy?
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't.
I thought there would be a little bit more progression.
Yeah.
Since last episode. But that's, I guess, my bad. Because I guess I also would just be ignoring this and hoping it goes away.
Right, being like, it's chill. I see ghosts of, you know, my girlfriends, and that's fine.
Like, if I think about it for more than a second, in Jeremy's position, like, yeah, I would get a summer job, and I would just work myself to exhaustion, and do drugs again, and just be like, no, I'm just it's just grief, man. I'll just hope it goes away. But then it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
I am curious about your thoughts of the ghosts are moving.
Mm-hmm.
So they follow Jeremy, and they're not just specific to the house.
Yeah.
And Vicky talked.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And, like, Matt even, like, overhears it. It's like, what do you mean, Vicky? You know, like, what the hell's going on here? So that's... What are the rules? What's going on?
Yeah. And specifically talked and said, help me. So, like, are they ghosts? Yeah. Are they in purgatory? Because if Vicky's a ghost, in the sense of, like, has not moved on yet, and hasn't been at peace this whole time, then that makes her story even sadder, which I did not think was possible.
Yeah.
So that's not great, and that makes me nervous. So I would like a little bit more information there. I would also like a little bit more information about where Bonnie is and why her dad's family is like that. Because the last thing that we knew about Bonnie's family is that they were aren't they the ones that are in Boston or Salem?
Oh, yeah.
So I would like some more information about that. That'd be great. I would love to know your opinion on and your thoughts on Stefan and Damon, specifically when Andy died.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was sick and twisted. Because Stefan is just he's in it, right? He's in this Ripper state of mind or whatever. And Damon's like, hey, bud, don't really love what you're doing over here, but it's Elena's birthday, and I think maybe I break you out of here. Maybe we go home. You know, maybe we just, like, hang out like we used to. And he's like, what if I told you need to let me go and get the fuck out of here and let me do my shit? Because I'm kind of, like, working up the ladder right now. I kind of got my own hustle going on here. And also, I got your fucking girlfriend. Like, compelled above this, like, very scary, like, you know, like, walking the plank type deal in this, like, very scary room. And is like, what if she just, like, wanted to walk off right now, you know? And then she does. And that's twisted. That's sick and twisted.
It is. I am surprised that Damon And maybe Damon does know that Stefan was compulsed. And he's just being himself of like, well, I can just make the compulsion stop working.
Right.
Because that's how the Salvatore brain works, I guess. But I am glad that they did get that moment. Because I think Damon needed it to realize, like, that is not my brother anymore. Yeah. In the sense that I knew him. Which is not... That doesn't make me feel better. Personally.
Right,
It was immensely painful. But it's... I think that it helped him realize, like, that is not... Like, he is fully under Klaus's control.
Yeah. He's gone, girl.
Yeah.
For the time being, at least.
The interactions with Damon and Elena this episode were particularly painful. Because earlier in the episode it was funny, right? When he came down and he was naked.
Sure. We were having laughs. We were having fun.
Right.
Jubilous times.
And then he found Elena's necklace. Because Elena didn't want this party. She was doing it to make Caroline feel better.
Right. Be like, I'm so good. I'm normal and healthy.
And then obviously, like, they fight at the end. But I was under the impression that the card and the bear on her bed, I didn't think it was from Jeremy. I thought it was from Damon.
Yeah.
Which is painful for me to think about. I think the thing that really sucks about where Elena is by the end of this episode is, like, she's 18. She owns 2 properties, which is a bad bitch move. I don't know if she's done...
We love to see it.
I don't know if there's been full paperwork yet to assume that she has property of, like, the Gilbert house yet, but presumably that will happen. So she owns 2 properties. Maybe 3, the lake house, because that one was Jonathan's.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So,
damn, she's gonna be a landlord.
Right, exactly. So she owns 3 homes. She has no one around to help her. I don't think that she even knows that Jeremy's seeing ghosts. She just knows that he's smoking again. But she's still having to do emotional work for Stefan in that call at the end.
Yeah.
And I think that she thinks it's good to hold on to him.
Yeah.
And I can't blame her for it, because she's still grieving, and it's really only been 2 months, which is not a lot of time. But it felt less like a relationship call and more of like, I'm your therapist in that moment.
Yeah.
Which, who isn't she a therapist for, I guess? And as a Cancer son, Elena, I would just want you to be a little bit more selfish.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay if you don't move on so quickly. Fuck what Caroline says, you know?
Yeah, respectfully.
You can go sit in the graveyard if you want. That's okay. I don't know how quickly they're going to wrap this up with Klaus, but I don't mind Stefan being this bad, personally.
Yeah, like, I enjoy it much more. Like, it's still emotionally painful, but I'm getting more interest.
Right.
In this dynamic.
I don't know that it's good that he's going to keep racking up this body count. Like, I don't know that I want to, every episode, have to ask, like, Andy, are you okay with people? You know? But, like...
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind.
Right.
I would just like a little bit more... I would like Rick to get his shit together. That's what I'd like. I'd like Bonnie to come back. I'd like to figure out what the fuck is going on with these ghosts.
Yeah.
And I would like... Honestly, we know that Klaus had, like, 7 siblings. 6 other siblings.
Right.
I think there were 7 of them. Knowing that there is an original show that presumably starts next season of this, I don't know. They can't all be dead.
Yeah, no way.
So, I'm just wondering, like, does another Elijah come out? Or does someone, pull that knife out of Elijah and be like, go get your brother. He's acting up.
Right.
Go take care of your brother. He's being a little shit. He's trying to start something that's called a, quote, master race.
Yeah, so...
Elijah?
Hey, man.
Go get your boy. It's kind of gross what he's doing. But I don't mind. We've got a lot of hot men in fucking V-necks, so I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Sure, yeah, respectfully.
Yeah. That's fine with me. Next episode is called The Hybrid.
Oh, gosh.
So maybe it's just a 42-minute monologue from Klaus about his plans.
Yeah.
Maybe it's his fucking first YouTube video where he's like,
Hey, what's up?
Hey, YouTube, here's my plans. God, could you imagine? And again, we got hot men in V-necks, so no complaints.
Huge, major.
Just the deepest V-necks
really
to ever
important.
exist. We have some amazing patrons to thank. Do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Sean Salvatore.
Ooh, thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ow. Thank you to Katya Karp.
Ooh, thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ow. Thank you to Janae Bennett.
Ooh, thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh, thank you to Emily Ozera.
And last but certainly not least, thank you to Jaylene Ivishkov.
Ooh, I have a fanfiction for you. This is by the author orphan_account.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I didn't realize that this was titled the Taylor Swift lyric. The title is When You Can't Sleep at Night, and then in parentheses, you hear my stolen lullabies. The summary is, this summary looks like it is a excerpt from so I'm going to tell you the summary. The summary is that Elena comes into Damon's room and they're talking about Stefan when he is with Klaus.
Great.
That's the summary. Okay, there's only one chapter. And because she looked so helpless, so desperate, her eyes lacking a certain fullness they did when he saw her with Stefan, he felt a sudden determination press against his chest. Yes, I do, he said. I do, Elena, I honestly do. I can't promise it's not going to take a while, but we'll all get my brother back for you if it's the last thing I do. Even if he didn't believe it fully, he believed it enough to bring Elena some semblance of comfort. And for you, she whispered back tiredly, her gaze still holding his. You said you'd get him back for me. We'll get him back for you too. Damon made a soft noise from the back of his throat without meaning to. He was briefly so overcome with love for the compassionate girl that lay next to him that he was rendered speechless. Go to sleep, Elena, he said, with gentleness he only reserved for her and Stefan, and before he could stop himself, brushed a small piece of hair from her forehead and tucked it behind her ear. She was falling asleep, and he couldn't tell if she noticed or not. The twinge in his chest, he realized as he lay, watching Elena sleep, her chest rising and falling gently, her hair splayed out around her, eyelashes against cheekbones, was perhaps what selflessness felt like. Damn it, brother, he cursed internally. Come and take her back before I do the least selfless thing of all. And so.
Fuck this.
These two are going to be the death of me.
Yeah.
So that's great. Hate to see it. Well, friends, tell your friends and family about the show.
Yeah.
It's a great time. We just started a new season here. Send in your Vampire Diaries backstories and fan fictions. And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest...
Get bit.
Ow.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/intothetwilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.